Music has ended. We are live.
Wow.
Wow.
What? No.
Yep.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Just friends. And
Friends.
it's not Sunday.
It's not Sunday. It's not Sunday, everyone. Remember, it's
also
not
not
Sunday.
Saturday, so.
God, I'm glad it's not Sunday. I have so many assignments too.
Happy not Sunday. I miss, I saw. Hi Bear. Hi Kira and Jeeb.
Hi, Chris. And everybody.
No.
Hi, Grips.
Yeah.
Now, I thought it would be fun to start this with a little Sherlock cat, as is tradition of drawing streams. However, Jeeb beat me. Hands down.
It's important.
That's the frogware Sherlock cat.
That
Yes,
is.
that's him. That's him.
That's him right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's right there.
I'm looking at a screenshot of Sherlock from the game, and I see no difference. I swear.
It's probably also worth bearing in mind that there are many colds going around, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yay! It's all good. But we're still here, and we are still buoyed by the enthusiasm of rewriting unsatisfying mysteries.
Yay.
Yeah.
So if you're not aware, we finished Sherlock and the Mystery of the Silver Earring, one of the least appropriately named games I've ever played.
No mystery there. No.
The mystery was why they called it that.
Yeah, that's the mystery. Yeah.
Not really.
And it was only arguably Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. I'm starting to doubt the. But yeah, also the game has multiple names because sometimes it's just the Silver Earring and sometimes it's the Mystery of the Silver Earring. It can't even make up its mind. But that's fine. Yeah. We're going to make up its mind for it because we finished it and the end was...
bad.
I want to say baffling, but honestly it wasn't that baffling. It was just incredibly tedious, not interesting, and didn't make any, interesting connections with the previous information and pulled a lot of information out of nowhere.
They made up more game that you weren't allowed to play or see until the final cutscene.
Yeah, which is the big cardinal sin for me of mysteries. It's supposed to give the audience all the information, albeit maybe obliquely.
Yeah.
Mystery
was the friends we made along the way. No mystery there. You're all lovely. Ha.
Even if the audience, even if the audience doesn't realize the bits of the mystery that you are putting into the thing, and they're still there, and if you have the detective character or whoever points them out later on during the the reveal or whatever, yeah, that's great, fantastic, love that. At least they were there. And you can go back and watch again. You're like, oh fuck, yeah, no, that was there. But
yeah, it's as soon as we got to the final cutscene, I was like, I didn't think we have enough information to solve the mystery as the player. So I was already a bit it's gonna tell us shit we don't know, and then it just got worse somehow. Because it's not even we didn't have information that we should have. It's Sherlock was actively keeping us from things as the playable character.
Sherlock was gaslighting us.
Sherlock, I can't believe Sherlock gaslit us.
That was their first game, I think, Sawyer. Yeah, or their first Sherlock game.
Kind of. It was their first...
Kind of, okay.
Their first now playable Sherlock game with a story narrative kind of thing. they did have some point and click like hidden item games themed around Sherlock Holmes before that, and apparently there was another game that came before that is so bad that they've delisted it. So
Wow.
we're not privy to that one.
Wow.
So this is in theory not the worst one,
Mm.
which is telling.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
They definitely got better. That much we can say. They
Yes,
definitely
they
got
did.
better.
Yeah.
Which
Like, for all that we shit on the other Sherlock Holmes games, they're at least a somewhat capable mystery.
yeah. You are kind of wondering where it's going and being like, oh, maybe this, maybe that, or whatever. It's never
You
what
still
you think
don't
it is. But
really know where it's going, and Sherlock just kind of pulls a mystery Hindi man out of his ass.
that does
And
happen.
then starts skating on the Rosetta Stone with Lupin.
Yeah.
Or skating on the Rosetta Stone. But you know, those are just
Yeah.
kind of baffling in a fun way, and not baffling in a way of like, when did this happen, and why did you
Well,
show us?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think cardinal first sin of this game, too many characters that don't fucking matter.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. There were so many characters, and then like every time you mentioned a character from the walkthrough, Chris was just like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't remember
I
any of
had
this
to
person.
walk through up, and even I was like, I'm just saying names. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it started becoming, oh, who's this person? Oh, it's this person with a different name.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
okay,
it's
this
an
person.
alias of this person. Okay, who's that person?
Okay, yeah, who's that? It's like, oh, it's the person that you met once. Why does this
Yeah,
character with
it's
one
the drunk
line have an
guy.
alias?
Yeah.
And how were we supposed to know about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the first thing. We can pare down the
Yeah.
the cast. That's
Yeah.
easily done, I think.
Very easily, because there were only a couple that really mattered, which is Bromsby, that's the guy who got killed.
Bromsby, thank you.
Then there's his daughter, Lavinia?
Lavinia, pretty Lavinia,
Pretty Lavinia,
who did not murder somebody, as it turns out.
who apparently did not murder someone, even though there was, like, a cloud of smoke right by her face as the game started.
An unexplained cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be like, I think the implication was it was a makeup brush or something, because there was like the imprint, like a circular sort of powder imprint on the dresser in her room. But it was never mentioned again. So
Yeah.
I guess we had to work that out ourselves.
Then there's Lieutenant Harrington.
Lieutenant Harrington, yes.
Always must say lieutenant when we're in Britain.
The quote-unquote ginger soldier.
Yeah, the very much ginger
I'll say it.
soldier that we all knew had red hair all along.
Because I'm in this call, I will say lieutenant, not lieutenant.
It should be lieutenant, but this is the British Army we're talking about here, so no, nothing
Also,
makes
the
sense.
only person in game to say Lestrade instead of Lestrade
Yeah.
for some reason.
Because the person whose title cannot be pronounced properly can pronounce someone else's name properly.
These games, by the way, keep trying to fucking gaslight me into thinking that I've been mispronouncing Lestrade for like decades, and it actually is Lestrade, and I am mad about it.
It
No,
is
it's Lestrade.
gaslighting you.
It is gas. It's mean. I hate
it's
it.
not Lestrade. No one ever, except
It's
for in
Lestrade.
games, has pronounced it Lestrade.
It keeps making me think I'm crazy.
There is
It's pronounced Krazi.
what's his name? Grumble?
Grimble.
Bron-
Oh god, who was Grimble?
Grumble,
Was Grimble the PA?
Yeah, the PA.
Grimble
I
the PA.
think.
Okay, let's get Grimble.
Grimble's the PA. I feel like he is somewhat relevant, even though they kind of pulled out of nowhere in the end that like he was in league with Sherlock all along, or something.
Did they?
I think they did.
I believe you, but I don't remember.
Because I think Sherlock at the end was like, oh, he always meant to like give up his like claim on things and make it go to Lavinia, but I convinced him otherwise to lure out these people, something like that. And at that point, it was like, why?
I do
if
remember.
you were that far into the mystery that you could ask someone that, why did you not just reveal everything at that point?
He did say I made him try to come back and take the claim in order to distract Lestrade, so I had more time to get evidence, which we never used. I would like to remind people that box that we found at the thing was never mentioned again.
No, that wasn't relevant. Like, barely anything that happened at the theater was actually relevant, I think, in the end. I don't know why we went to the theater, other than to know someone's red wig was missing. For a character that did not have red hair.
I remember early on in this being like, well, none of the characters are ginger, so we're looking for a ginger character, and as soon as we meet one, I'm going to be suspicious of them. We never did.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all were waiting for the ginger character to show up, and it just never happened.
I suppose one could say it was a red herring.
Red Harrington.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Love it. Oh yeah, we're cutting out all the racism.
Oh yes.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Absolutely miss, yes.
I mean, the like Chinese character wasn't even relevant at all. That guy straight up didn't need to be in the story.
The only thing, it presented two things to the story. Firstly, a cutscene, so they could break up the gameplay. And secondly, an indication that the theatre was in some way connected to the mystery that we just uncovered at the old theatre.
Yeah.
You think that it being at the theatre might have something to do with it, but there we are.
Yeah. You know, all the theater stuff and the Fairfax Theater with the Fairfax crew and the lady the actress or whatever. There's also the lawyer guy.
Oh yeah, the lawyer who likes making
name.
automata contraptions.
Yeah. Just unexplained, like, loves making traps. Because he's just a kooky little guy like that, I guess.
I don't... Did we ever actually see him?
I don't think so.
He was described as short and portly. I remember that because of the pillow.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we saw a photo.
Wasn't it that he looked like Grimble? Or was that someone else? I can't fucking remember.
It looked like... Yeah, no, I can't remember. We're going to ignore that.
Doesn't matter, not relevant.
Some things are not worth remembering.
Looks like some guy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Sherlock did describe him as obese when looking at that photo, when it was just like a slightly portly gentleman.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes, because Sherlock and Watson.
Obese man, like what? Sherlock, what are you talking
Once
about?
again, Sherlock is wrong and fucking rude.
So that and like never seen, I guess, but very much mentioned in the story is the nephew something Collins. Starts with a W because his initials are WC, which is still just so unfortunate. I'm so sorry, my guy.
That is very unfortunate, yes. Yeah.
The Victorian era collars go all the way.
I think that's
Also,
like our main.
That's the core team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In theory, this is kind of all you need, right?
Yeah.
You can
Wyatt
write a
Collins.
Sherlock Holmes story with this many characters. In fact, there are quite a few Sherlock Holmes stories with fewer characters than this.
Mm-hmm. It's like you have one victim, or one starting out victim. You have people who know shit about him and who are connected to him, and probably one very obvious choice of the killer who isn't gonna be the killer.
I think what is interesting is like solving who done it is less of a thing in Sherlock Holmes. That sort of developed afterwards.
Yeah.
A lot of the Sherlock Holmes is just like finding the evidence or proving the person did it or working out some sort of strange mystery. Nobody knows what's going on. Where did this person go?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. The whodunit is was sort of popularized afterwards, but that doesn't stop people making Sherlock games about whodunit.
It's fair enough. I mean, I did think you could like wrap this as a whodunit with like a larger mystery.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of like, because I like what you said yesterday about like the daughter, like not really being the daughter but from a theater troupe and such.
Yeah. They made a big deal about the fact that he hadn't seen his daughter for like 8 years.
Yeah, and that would make a great setup to be like, hey, that's suspicious, like, because he literally hasn't seen her since she was 12.
Yeah. They had no idea what she looks like.
That's a long time. That's... You send away a child and a grown woman comes back at your door. That's very different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really like that idea, because I think, like, as you say, Sherlock would probably instantly know, like, oh, these people did it. Not that he's gonna tell the player about that of the game, but he knows. But for him, the bigger mystery is just like, hang on a second. You are not who you say you are. Who are you?
Chris.
Exactly.
Perfect. I love.
So it is like Sherlock tricking the player in some way, but less I'm doing shit behind your back and more me, Sherlock, am solving a different mystery than you are, and eventually the plots just kind of like intersect.
Because there were quite a few instances while playing this game where I'm like, why are we going here? But I always had in the back of my mind, okay, Sherlock knows more than we do. We just need to kind of piece it together as we go. Like that's kind of fine, at least as long as you don't do it for like half the game. Just the occasional question, and you're like, well, Sherlock, why are you asking that? Or why are you going specifically here rather than the place that Lestrade wants to go? It's like, because it's Sherlock, he knows.
Yeah, you can, like, make use of Sherlock's reputation for games like these, of, like, it's Sherlock Holmes. He probably already knows. And it's, just about the adventure of it all, or whatever.
I'm doing all this with opacity.
Yeah, him going to the fucking distillery, like, Abbey, after finding a single bottle of liquor from there. That was a baffling choice. The fact that it was right was even more baffling to me, honestly.
Again,
That was in any way relevant.
he has protagonist privileges.
True, but that one felt unrealistic to
Yeah.
me. I was just like, what do you mean you're going to, like, a random abbey after finding a bottle of liquor from that abbey as though nobody else could have bought it or, like, sold it or anything? It must come from that specific abbey, and it must have something to do with the case rather than just being someone wanted alcohol.
Hi, Plamps.
It's the plan, Pillow. Yeah, I mean, a thing that's worth bearing in mind is that in Britain there is this may well be a thing in Europe as well. There is a tradition of abbeys and monks producing alcohol, and they're being specific.
Yeah, no, that's very true, but still, like...
But the thing is, if that's a common thing, why was this one important?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You can get these anywhere.
What makes this so special? Yeah.
Like, I know abbeys and, like, monks and such make liquor. They do so over here as well. They, as far as I know, that's, like, the main purpose of, like, monks, is that they brew beer.
Yeah, they're doing special liqueurs and such.
So, like, I have no problem with that, like, the fact that it was somehow relevant.
Like,
And somehow relevant enough to the case that they decided to set the place on fire. Not the abbey, I mean the, like, little, like, fucking sewer you found.
Yeah,
in the middle of the woods.
it was a little hideout where people stayed and kept notes, ? And I'm guessing this is where these, like, the three villains, who really only needed to be two, that's where the sort of three villains sort of hung out and did stuff or whatever, and or at the very least where Collins was hanging out and he had notes that he was keeping, and so the guy went there to burn it ? They're rather confused as to why he didn't just take it.
Yeah.
Just grab the stuff and go. Like, I don't know what burning it's gonna do. Apart from add an action sequence, which was not very interesting. Slightly annoying, rather. We put you in a maze. Cool, you got to the end of the maze. Now go back through the maze on a time limit. A very tight time limit.
Also back to where you needed to go and get water on the way.
Yes.
To put out this fire. I guess.
So okay, if you still wanted to keep this bottle takes us to the abbey. From what the monk said, is very much just a thing they brew there, and they have a bunch of bottles. Maybe they sell some, but they also keep some at the abbey. And you know, the ones on the abbey, they don't put the commercial label on it or anything like that. They just have like a little mark that they have, and so maybe
already would make it more like closely connected to the abbey.
Yeah, because then you'd have a bottle with a mysterious mark on it, which you need to research. Maybe you'll come across it somewhere else in like a note found about Collins or whatever. Like,
yeah.
And then you can put two and two together and be like, oh, that's why we're going there, because Collins has stuff, whatever.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, abbeys and such are also notably a place of refuge often, so...
That's true, yes.
If Collins needed a place to stay, like, maybe? I didn't know. I still didn't really get the relevance, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why, like... Because I don't think there was anything else going on to indicate that he was, like, itinerant. So W. Collins more like L. Collins. Wow.
Yeah. The only thing you really got from there was like the letter that he hid in the fucking wall.
Which also, why would you do that?
Yeah. Why would you do that, first of all? Also, like, the letter was like, drunken rambling. But it was like relevant to you because you had to like compare the quote unquote handwriting to like
Oh, was that the only reason we got
his notes at some point? I don't know if that's the only reason you got it, but that was like one of the exam questions you did. Like you had to put in the. I remember you putting in like the drunk letter and like the notes, the threat note by WC, or something like that.
So how could we improve that? How about we find this body? It's got a bottle. The bottle has a mysterious mark on it. We have to research the mark. We find the abbey. We find the place. It's got a bunch of random bits of paper in it. There is no fire because why would there be?
Yeah.
And we find this scrawled note whose handwriting matches a note we found before, the threat from WC to Grimble or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we go, that's who the body was. It was W. Collins. He was murdered.
Yeah.
Wyatt is the
Wyatt,
first
thank
name.
you.
Yeah, yes. I looked it up. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember, but it's Wyatt.
Wyatt. Why were you at the murder?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why were you at the fucking Fairfax Theatre in the middle of the night for no reason?
Yeah, that's we still need to work that out, but okay. But this sequence of events, I like that sequence of events. We find body. Has bottle with mark. I'll just write this down. Continue talking about other things.
Yeah. I think like with these characters, you have enough of a thing going on of like, like. Okay, I'll say it this way. I do want Grimble to actually commit fraud, Yeah. And not like this.
Yeah.
Oh, it turned out we're giving money to a poor orphanage in fucking India.
No.
Because we're very
have them commit fraud.
Genocide because.
I do
gotta have realistic stories.
I do want to stress something I thought of after the stream, which was they tried to excuse, or at the very least, make it seem like I gotta forget everyone's name. Bromsby. Make it seem like Bromsby was like apologetic and making amends by donating to a random orphanage in India, or possibly it's like the orphanage of the people whose fathers he killed.
Yeah.
But also, one of the outstanding things about that situation of him basically wiping out the male population of an entire town was that the families never knew what happened or where the bodies were.
Yeah.
It would be nice for them to like find the bodies so that they could bury them or whatever the culture is for. Like,
I mean, it's also the fact that like that's what got one of the things that got me the most about it is like he's still committing fraud to do this.
Yeah.
So like he's probably not tax write-off or something. Like
he's not completely altruistic. Not altruistic at all, really.
This is not like a public donation or anything. No, he's still hiding it as like, ooh, we're just like. Everything about that was stupid. So I just think like that Bromsby should maybe have suspicions of Grimble like committing fraud, or maybe even just like knowing about it and just being like, well, that happens, moving on.
Yeah.
Might as well make Bromsby a complete shit ass shit guy.
The idea that like we have a red herring in the game, that it's always good in this story for it to have a red herring so that Lestrade can have something to run off with. He needs enrichment, you know. So the idea of having this, like fraud, embezzling PA who's been like, you know, siphoning money and whatever, which turns out not to be relevant to the case, but is a theoretical motive for murder, is good. But also, as you say, there's no reason Bromsby should care, because, as they say in the game, the amount of money he was embezzling was a drop in the ocean to the funds that the company deals with every single day. Like, he would have looked at that and gone, who cares?
Was apparently fucking big enough to bankrupt the entirety of London if you failed the game. Which is an absolutely insane notion. But okay. But yeah, I like you say, like, Lestrade needs enrichment. He's a little hamster guy. He needs to run after something. So that's what Grimble is for. And it gives, like, Wyatt also, like, something else to do, because, like, obviously he would care about, like, fucking, you know, the company being fucking embezzling funds. Maybe his uncle doesn't care, but he probably does.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, that was, like, a weird side mention that, like, Bromsby, like, borrowed money from Wyatt's mother to set up the company or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's why Wyatt thinks he is entitled to Bromsby's money. Because he's like, well, my mum set you up, so where's our return? Like,
yeah, Wyatt is very much like, my mum set you up for success. You need to, like, basically take care of me for my entire life.
Yeah.
So why are you letting this guy just embezzle funds?
Oh yeah, that's good. And so that would be a good, like, motivation for them trying to frame Grimble.
Yeah.
Because if they meet up with if we're going with the idea that they're meeting up with this theatre troupe and the theatre troupe are pretending to be the daughter and the guy and whatever, then they could be there to set up the murder, to sort of make it look like Grimble did it, but also make it look like Grimble's trying to get away with it by framing the daughter, and the daughter's innocent, of course, and all that sort of stuff. Go with the classic, you know, it's obviously this person. Oh no, but it isn't, because they didn't do this. Story. Oh, it was that person.
Yeah.
Which is always a fun one.
Yeah. Mum says you need to give me money. if you don't,
then I'm telling.
Yeah, that's why it's.
Give me money. Yeah.
Yeah, it just gives another, like, reason to distrust Grimble.
Yeah.
And for Wyatt to be mad at Bromsby and, like, you know, shit happens. I don't think they should all just randomly meet in Brazil for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's such a small country.
I know, it's a small country. It's the thing.
Is there anything?
5-minute walk, and basically met everyone there.
I know, right? It's so small.
Is there anything other than the cigar that requires Brazil? I think it's just the cigar ash going, it must have been you, because only one person has been to Brazil, which is you.
I can't think of anything.
And thus you were at the scene of the crime, which we knew because you were there. We met you there.
Which is just another case of, like, you couldn't have bought this anywhere else except for Brazil.
Yeah.
It's the fucking Abbey all over again.
Yeah. No, miss. Please. No. Sounds silly. Please.
Not you. We're comparing you to the game. Like, you're not going to sound silly. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, you're never.
We're all
going to
sound like geniuses.
Yeah.
I would like to point out, do people not import things from? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is one of my primary issues. As I kept trying to allude to this while doing the playthrough, which is that Sherlock has protagonist privileges, which is that he's always correct because he was written to be correct. But there is usually an alternative explanation to the things he says. He just happens to be right because he's the main character.
Yeah.
So when he says, the cigars placed you at the scene of the crime, and it must have been you because only you went to Brazil, and so on and so forth. It's like what he's saying is true, but there are alternative explanations that if the story just doesn't bring it up, you don't have to think about it. Like,
true. Yeah.
I like to avoid that where possible. I like to avoid anything that's just like, it's technically true that this is a connection, but it is not watertight. There needs to be something like, I also found like red moustache hair in the ashtray or something. Like, they never really brought up the red hair clippings in. Why were there red hair clippings in the bathroom? They wanted to trim the wig at the scene of the crime.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That was because those were specifically red moustache clippings, which I guess
fake moustache, presumably.
But then there was also the red hair in like near the mirror in the hall, which is like a completely separate location, first of all. But I think they were trying to allude that maybe the guy in the red wig came in a separate way or something. Like, this man didn't walk through the entire house.
Also, another thing I thought of after the stream, why were so many door handles covered in sauce? That was never brought up again.
No, don't worry about it.
That was like the first clue I got.
Dipped the door handles in sauce.
Like, if they'd said... Well, no, that doesn't make sense either. I was about to say, if they'd said, like, during the commotion, this imposter character had fallen and, like, smacked their hand on a plate or something, and as they were leaving, so on and so forth. But that wouldn't make sense, because the door handles with the sauce on them were leading upstairs, which they couldn't have gone to, so it would...
But see, it's just all sauce sans McGee. It's fine.
All sauce sans McGee.
You know what happens at Victorian British parties, don't you?
How did two people come up with all sauce hands at the same time? Like spaghetti and hates forks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Honestly,
with his bare hands.
You want to throw something like that in the game, I'm up for it. You want to throw like, there's this suspicious sauce things and so on and so forth. And then when we get like the guest list with like people circled because they're hard of hearing and whatever, there's just a little note next to, Dr. Spaghetti is like, it likes to eat with his hands or whatever. It's like, that's fine. You can have a sense of humor with these things.
Yeah, I like that.
Something can be a red herring for the sake of a joke. I'm fine with that. That's great.
Dr. Sauce Hands is in our version of the game.
Okay, hang on. I need to draw Dr. Sauce Hands.
Dr. Sauce Hands.
Yeah. Doctor of what? Don't worry about it. Don't use Dr. Sauce Hands. That's all you need to know.
future ragdoll watching the VOD.
Hey,
Wishing
Ragdoll,
you
if you're
well.
watching this, I hope you like our improvement of the game, Dr.
Yes.
Sauce Hands.
I hope that as well. I really hope you approve of that and like that. Yes. And yes, you are correct to X to doubt.
It's actually just Lupin in disguise.
One of his
Yes.
numerous ingenious disguises. Nobody would suspect Dr. Sauce Hands.
Fuck yeah.
They never mention it in this game, but they do a callback to it in the Lupin game.
Lupin and his lunch.
I just read I continued one of the short stories today where he has like a detective alter ego that it just kind of likes to pull out of his ass to do whatever with. So,
Yeah.
maybe Dr. Sauce Hands is his
Sure.
definitely real Doctor alter ego.
Absolutely, yeah, maybe. Absolutely. And I love that for him.
Close
Yes.
up again. Yeah.
Yeah, Def, not Lupin.
Listen, the thing with these things is that you can't prove it's not Lupin.
Yeah.
True, you can't prove it. Yeah, no.
Nothing in the game says the Dr. Sauce Hands is not Lupin.
It could be. Yeah.
Did I mention I've probably had a fever the last couple of days?
Yeah, good. Also, Bear makes a good point. He needs a monocle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
There we go, Dr. Sauce Hands. This was the plot hole I needed filling.
Yes.
The story is
Absolutely.
perfect now.
What more do you need, honestly?
Moriarty's got nothing on this guy.
It's true.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the sauce on my hands.
Just too slippery. Oh.
It was tomato sauce caught red-handed, etc., etc.
Yes.
I am dead. Yeah.
Yeah, mini game of what's blood, what's sauce, what's graphics. Yes.
The sudden
With just Sherlock just going blood.
Blood.
Sauce.
Yes.
I want a cutscene of Holmes looking at the hairs he collected from the crime scene, and him looking at the red hair and going, "This reminds me of something." Cut to Dr. Sauce Hands eating spaghetti with his hands. Zoom in on the sauce, it's orange. Zoom in on Lieutenant Harrington's hair, it's orange. Eureka! Like the discovery of the hair via the sauce.
No, we don't want to chip the Dr. Sauce hands. No. Oh man. This is
Oh, jeez.
coincidence. I
And
think
after
not.
that whole like minor cutscene of Sherlock doing that connection, he just goes elementary.
Elementary.
Like he fucking likes to do in this game. Where you're just like, what do you mean elementary?
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
You know, I came across the word elementary for like one of my class assignments recently, but they were talking about like an artist who was doing like protest art and just art in general with photography and like earthy materials, and elementary as in like elements, like using like elementary art, but the methods she used was literal elements of like the earth and things like that, like soil and grass and plants and things, and like just I just coming across that word meaning something that I don't normally think of it remind me of your book, Chris. The word book that you have, and also these games as well, with Sherlock on elementary and it not actually being like what what he's saying or something like that. But this is perfect. Yep. Correct. Absolutely, yes.
Insert Princess Bride scene here. Is that
exactly? You keep using that.
Yeah.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means, which in that context is inconceivable. But
which nothing in this game is, of course.
Anyway.
Marinara does stain. Maybe Dr. Sauce dyed his hair in the bathroom with marinara sauce. So the sauce on the doorknob and the hair in the bathroom. No, they stole Dr. Sauce Hands' sauce in order to stain the hair, which we don't need to do in our version of the story because there isn't an imposter. But anyway.
Yeah, no.
Well, they have a wig, but it's
irrelevant. But yeah. I do think there is a far simpler explanation for how Wyatt could have come into contact with our actor imposters, which is that if in our version the original Lavinia went off with an actor troupe and Wyatt is trying to like gain more control over this company, he's going after the heir.
That makes sense.
And then going, oh fuck, she's like dead or something. You look close enough. You random person at this theater company that my cousin was working at. You want to get involved in crime?
Would he... I don't know. Would he have contact with Lavinia and then, like, you know, Lavinia showed him the photo of the actress that she met and was like, oh, we look similar, don't we? He's like, interesting. And then he hatches the plan and contacts them. It's like, I have an idea. Your company's hard up. You know, you're running out of money, you're about to get closed down. Well, if you pretend to be, you know, if I can sort something out to get Lavinia out of the way, like maybe she isn't killed, maybe she's just like kidnapped or something, and that's a level we need to do, is we need to rescue the real Lavinia. I don't know. Ideas.
Out of a maze in the forest.
No. I mean, that would be a good place to put her.
Joking.
But
true.
Like if Collins has been hanging out there and no one else really goes there, like there's probably a good place for him to stick her. But but there could be another. But then we wouldn't have the realization of like, oh, that body was Wyatt. We would just find Lavinia and be like, oh, we should probably focus on that.
Yeah, I think Lavinia might just be like mysteriously gone, you know?
Yeah.
Is she dead? The story never answers it.
Come on, our story should.
I mean, I... Yeah, I don't know. I didn't...
I mean, it could simply just be like, you know, the uncle received correspondence that Lavinia's coming home from boarding school, having not really had any contact with her for so many years. And so Lavinia comes back from boarding school, and she's actually just still in boarding school, and he's just never bothered to check.
Yeah, that could be also the case.
I could see that, yeah.
Or like... the other thing is, like, if we're going for this slightly silly idea of the automata was actually the thing that did the assassination, then the lawyer's in on it. So the lawyer could easily like intercept any mail.
Yeah.
From Lavinia and just make sure it doesn't get to him, or replace it with other stuff.
Or if you'll pardon the pun, because he's got a PhD apparently, doctor it or whatever. Just like manipulate.
Oh, doctor, clever.
Dr. Sausage.
This is more clever.
It's all Dr. Sausage. No. Yeah, there's a saying over here. If you
all revelation
like
cutscenes that Sherlock has in this game are through Dr. Sausage.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm not a lawyer. Yeah.
Would we still be going with the idea that the actors were like, well, if we're pretending to be the heirs, should we just kill this Collins guy? We don't need him.
Yeah, probably, like, very much the case of, like, he's fucking the only one at this point who could give us away.
Yeah.
Why would we take this risk?
Maybe he's sort of becoming more erratic the more he drinks, and like he's likely to blab at some point to somebody to try and, you know, braggadocio.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just read what Plam's wrote.
Yeah.
Such a good lawyer, he can intercept any mail, even Dr. Saucehands.
Yeah.
Look, if you want to write Mr. Lawyer, PhD, and Dr. Saucehands fanfic, I'm not going to stop you.
Oh hell yeah! now you want some toxic yaoi? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Everyone's homework
Or am I?
for anyone who's watching this stream, draw or write yaoi for Dr. Saucehands.
Dr. Saucehands.
Definitely not Lupin.
Yeah, no, definitely not Lupin. It's Dr. Saucehands. Thank you very much. No.
At least Sawyer got me.
I do like, you don't have to tell me twice, followed by 2 no's.
I love that. That's perfect.
You've been told twice.
Absolutely perfect response. All of you.
Oh. But yeah, I think it's probably just Lavinia, actual living at this point, probably like either still being at boarding school or maybe fuck it, even having gone to India herself and just having made her life there.
Yeah, she just buggered up. She got out of boarding school, was like, I'm setting up a life of my own, and then sent a letter to uncle saying this, well, father saying this is what I'm doing and you can't stop me. And the lawyer was like, cool, rip that up, chuck that on the fire.
Yeah. That's sure, whatever. And Collins probably knew about that and was like, well, if she was not gonna go for the money, I'll find someone else who can go for the money. This actress that she showed me in that picture from years ago is close enough. Because it gives her a reason to, like, not be dead, but also not be in the story.
Yeah.
And it really just sets her up nicely as, like... Because, like, in one of the letters, she was, like, really, like, scolded her dad for, like, treating Indian servants poorly. So...
Yeah, and as soon as she found out about, like, the massacre on the bridge, she's like, I'm not having anything to do with this company. I'm leaving.
Yeah, so it feels very fitting for her to be like, well, I'm gonna, like, actually help people. This is, like,
Yeah.
fuck you, Dad. Is it Mr. Lawyer, PhD, or Dr. Lawyer?
I did write Mr. Lawyer PhD, didn't I? That was a deliberate joke.
No, you see, Mr. is his father's name.
Please, Mr. was my father. Call me lawyer. Yeah. He's a humble man. I mean, it's,
Mr. Lawyer.
to be fair, as somebody with a PhD who goes by Mr., it is not unheard of.
Dr. Mr. Lawyer.
Yeah, please, call me Dr.
The
Mr.
second.
It's also Dr. Mr. Lawyer, the second PhD.
Major.
His cousin is Major.
Yeah.
Also, I love those rules, Sawyer, and I fully agree with you. Yes. Sorry, Sawyer and I are having our own little conversation.
Yeah,
during this.
Muppets.
Don't
Muppet
mind
times.
us.
Also,
Yeah.
I was sad to discover that the Muppet thing that just happened was a one-off, just to see, like, test the waters. I thought it was a new series.
Well, maybe they will do more.
Yeah, that's if it's successful enough.
If they test the waters, maybe. But yeah, I feel like we're doing pretty good with this. I feel like we're having a more comprehensive plot that people can discover.
Yeah. Like, okay, the one thing that I'm thinking about at the moment is, how did the lawyer get in on this? Was the lawyer already corrupt and Collins knew that? Or...
I think... Yeah, I think it's the most likely that the lawyer was already corrupt in some way, and like Collins, it could just be like, you know, hey, I have proof you as a lawyer helped in this fucking embezzlement scheme. They're gonna put it on you.
Yeah, you're involved in this embezzlement scheme. If you join in with our scheme, it's going to work out real well for you.
Yeah.
And then after he helped with the thing to make the foolproof murder by having the murderer actually be a suit of armor, kill him. Why not?
Yeah.
He's a lawyer. He's smarter than them. So he can hold it over them in some clever way that they don't understand. So if we kill him first...
Yeah.
Get him to do the thing, then kill him.
Like, it was always their plan to use this lawyer for their scheme, basically, and then just dispose of him. So, question, and the answer is probably not.
Everyone gets the question.
Hunter's death?
Hunter. Oh, the barman.
The random bar guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Whose
In
murder scene investigated for like 2 minutes.
In theory, we don't need that, because the reason he was killed was because he noticed the swap, which isn't a
and
thing
the swap
anymore.
didn't happen.
We could have, if we wanted a similar like side murder, maybe the chef noticed the creaking of the armor was a different sound to the closing of the well, and he started investigating and got a bit too close. I don't know.
Yeah, again,
Or
like
not.
I said, probably not.
Probably not. Like, we've already got enough
I
murders.
just want to bring up the guy who nobody remembers.
Yeah. the guy we only found out who he was in the summarizing because the game didn't bother saying. Should have guessed if they had a voice actor they had a possibility of being important, but that's also not true because the maid and the chef and the other drivers outside and the lady who was jilted, none of those were important.
No.
Yeah, I just called it Murderbot because I couldn't think of a better name.
No, that's fair, but it made me laugh. I was like, Murderbot would never! No, that's it. That's good. I got what you meant.
So it's kind of an interesting situation, I guess, is that, like, in theory, all the people who actually did the murders, except the murder of Wyatt, are already dead by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Because the actors killed Wyatt, and Wyatt was the one who set up everything else. Or the Dr. Mr. Lawyer 2 PhD, in theory, was the one who set up the murder of Bromsby. But Collins was the one who sort of orchestrated the whole thing, and the fraud of getting Lavinia, the fake Lavinia. It feels like they didn't know exactly what plot they wanted to make, so they threw everything in without making sense of any of it. It felt like 3 stories were happening. And it was based on a book, so maybe that person didn't know how to write short stories, or only knew how to write short stories and had to write a novel. That also is a possibility. I say as somebody in a similar situation.
I do feel like there should be, like, a witness the actual, like, actors kill, so they don't just kill Wyatt. So it feels a bit more,
yeah, it could be someone at
pressing, I guess.
someone at the party who was close to the door that opened with the suit of armor, which they tried to block by positioning the tables there so that nobody would really go near that door, which is a better reason for the tables to be in a weird order.
Yeah.
But
the
someone
tables have to be ordered that way for, you know, the fucking chakras in the room or whatever.
Yeah.
And oh no, they happen to block this door so it can only open just enough for someone to hold a gun between it.
But unfortunately, somebody had to lean over the table to get more sauce for Dr. Sauce Hands and happened to be looking in the direction of the door as it opened.
Yeah,
like,
so it can still be like a servant or something, but like...
Yeah.
For, like, the servant would also make sense, especially if they were, like, you know, like, relevant, if they had, like, you know, worked with the family, so they also would know that, like, oh yes, the weird night automata was probably made by Dr. Mr. Lawyer, the second PhD.
Yeah. I guess... I mean, that could be... Okay, the other thing we need to work out is, like, how is this information revealed to the character, to the player? Because, like, is the automata discovered last, or is it discovered, like, midway through, and Lestrade's like, well, that's that sorted. Grimble hired the lawyer to make this thing, and now I'm going to arrest him, because it's embezzlement.
I think it would be, like, middle after you've discovered that Dr. Mr. Lawyer has died.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, we figured out what makes the automata, that there was an automata involved. Let's go after the guy who makes automata. Oh, we arrive at his house. He is dead.
He's dead, but he does have records of all of the embezzlement that he helped Grimble do. So clearly...
Yeah. There's also something weird about a will, but we're not sure where that's going.
Well, no, clearly they were sorting out the will because Grimble wanted to make sure he was inheriting everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Etc., etc., etc.
So,
enrichment.
I don't really know how that would come up, though, unless it's like... yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whoever, like, discovered the automata, so to speak, whoever this mysterious witness is, like, obviously didn't see the kill happen, but it's like, why is this random armor in the hull from where the shot came an automaton? That's weird. Hey, hang on.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Wait a second. Um.
So I'm going to dip out of the call and hop into chat and be like around a bit because I gotta go do some driving and then some babysitting. So
Have a
catch you all
good.
later.
Have a good. Thanks for joining.
Have a good. Thanks for having me.
I love your AU plans.
Just pulls off the mask. Just full Dr. Sauce hands. I knew it! Just like different height, different size. Just.
Yeah. I think it's also helpful for a servant to be a witness, considering I don't think, like, for all that we were introduced to the servants in the beginning, none of them really said anything relevant.
I think the most relevant thing anybody said was Mary, who said, "No one came this way, sir." And that was it. So we basically managed to not have to do anything upstairs.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay, so should we work out like a kind of global sequence of events in the game?
Yeah, because I'm also trying to figure out, like, why would the servant still be a threat if Dr. Mr. Murray the second PhD is already killed? Like, but yeah, that would probably also become more clear with a global timeline.
Global timeline. We begin with bang.
Bang.
This is timeline of the game, not timeline of in-universe. Otherwise it would start with, like, Lavinia goes to boarding school or whatever. Desperately trying to remember anything about this game in order to join in with any substance. Don't miss. Just relax.
No, you don't need to remember anything. Just come up with dumb ideas like Dr. Sawsand.
How dare you?
Definitely not Lupin. Who's also definitely not Lavinia. Or fake Lavinia.
And it's like it's the reveal at the end. The fake Lavinia was Dr. Sawsands all along, and it's never mentioned about the fact that they were both at the party together.
Yeah.
That's where the imposter, the other imposter, someone else was pretending to be Dr. Sawsands.
And that was Lupin.
Oh, dear. Okay. So as we do with mystery novels, we start with a timeline from bang to summing up.
Mm-hmm.
We can shuffle stuff around as we go. So we could put down some, lighthouses. What's the word I'm looking for? Flagpoles. We can put down some major events and go, right, okay, let's start there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think... Oh, which one's probably the easiest to place? Probably... I think after initial bang of Bromsby, it's probably... Dr. Mr. Lawyer is the second, death, basically.
Okay. So, no, I won't put specific lines. I'll just make some generic lines.
That feels like a, end of Act 1 reveal of, we discovered how the initial murder took place, but whoops, turns out everything is bigger than we expected.
Yeah. It's like, we've cleared this up. It was Dr. Mr. Lawyer. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Act 2.
Exactly. And that feels very much that.
So just prior to that, we have discovery of automaton.
Yeah.
Which comes from... I mean, one thing, when I still had this theory in my head of, it was the suit of armor. Why was that there? Sorry, I keep going back to the actual game. Was this thing of, Watson finding the piece of paper that was if you want to work out the height of somebody who was shooting something, then look where the scorch mark is and go 15 centimeters above. Because people tend to hold guns up to their eyes to aim. And he could have sat down and done the calculation and been who on earth is 2.5 meters tall?
Yeah.
It's just a height nobody is. And Sherlock's you finally caught up.
Yeah, very much that.
So when does this servant die, or when do we find them dead? Is that earlier that lead us to the automaton, or is that after Dr. Lawyer?
I think it might be... Oh, I don't know. Because if it's before Dr. Mr. Lawyer, then it's ooh, obviously it's Dr. Mr. Lawyer who did it. So, and it's oh, she discovered he was using automata and such and whatnot, and so he had to kill her. Which would be fun then if there was like something unexplained at like the servant's crime scene where it's like, well, and then it turns out that like, no, Dr. Mr. Lawyer was never there. That were the other guys. So I guess before them would make the most sense.
Okay, so,
Like-
so would that be? No. Yeah. So
Like maybe it's more like you think the servant discovered something about the automaton, but they actually discovered something else.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. That's good. So the servant's found dead before. We assume it was because of the automaton, but actually it was something else. That's
Yeah.
neat. I like that. Just
Like
allergic
in
to peanuts.
actuality, it's like the servant was very close to Lavinia growing up and noticed a major difference or something like that.
Good. Yes. Excellent. Brilliant. You're very smart. Please write mysteries.
Thank you, thank you.
So like I don't know what was near.
Yeah, so like
Servant found dead. The assumption that it was because of the automaton.
yeah. Because it's like, oh, she was seen close to the door or whatever. It's like, oh, she
Yeah.
must have seen the automaton or something like that. But no, it's actually because, like, just beforehand in, like, you know, the lady's powder room, she had this conversation with Lavinia. And blackmailed her or something. Or not even blackmailed, just, you know, threatened something.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's a nice lighthouse. I like lighthouses. Okay, so when... Is this one of those things that Sherlock just kind of knows from the beginning that, yeah, no, it has nothing to do with the automaton? But, like, how do we hint this? How do we seed this? Like, she had an argument with Lavinia before. Did we hear raised voices, but it wasn't quite clear who was what, who was where? And then Sherlock's like, well, this was the only person who went near this room at that time, so it was an argument with this person. But that was before the murder. So it can't have been about the automaton.
Something like that, or maybe, like, found something in, like, the lady's powder room or something that's, like, part of the deal or whatever. I'm also, like, because the original had absolutely, basically nothing to do with the silver earring, I am trying to work the silver earring back in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, maybe, like,
we
the servant wanted the earrings because she knew that Lavinia had hit something that could be opened with the earrings, but fake Lavinia obviously doesn't know that. And then, like, figures it out later and wants the earrings back. I don't know.
Yeah, my idea was simpler, which was we already have, like, faked costumes here. And they knew Lavinia had these earrings, and so they just sort of made facsimiles of them, and she noticed, that's not the right earring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even better. It's, like, very much, like, those are not, like, your mother's earrings or whatever, like, that you would always wear. Those are fakes, I know that.
Originally, it was just like, hey, what happened to your earrings? You know, how dare you lose those? They were so important to you. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, how can you forget? You're not Lavinia.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. And like probably like whomever like overheard their argument and told Sherlock about it was like, well, they had some sort of argument about the earrings or something.
Yeah.
Because Lavinia lost hers again or whatever.
Yeah, there was a little discussion about losing jewelry and stuff. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, and Watson probably has some sort of
women.
Yeah, women and their need for earrings or whatever. Bit him, yes. So then it actually becomes a case of the silver earrings, because the silver earrings is what set up this entire thing of Lavinia being fake. Which is how, like, Sherlock would know, because he probably, like, puts a lot of emphasis on these earrings, and Watson's just like, maybe she just bought different earrings. Maybe she just lost them. Why would the servant care? It's like, yes. Exactly, Dr. Watson. What?
Do you like my timeline? It's very nicely spread out.
Yeah, it's all crammed in there. So much happens in the first act.
So we start
not
bang.
Even one mention yet of Dr. Saw's hands.
I know.
Yes. Everyone panicked after the bang, and then Dr. Saw's hand just touched all the door handles.
Okay, so presumably it's like, the Lavinia is implicated. Oh no, wait, no, she couldn't possibly have done it because so on and so forth. We have now ascertained her innocence. We will never think of her again.
Yeah.
So her innocence is ascertained by she was a terrible shot. the fact, well, just examination of her gun and that there were no like.
Yeah.
There's no gunpowder.
Examination of the gun she just received, which was notably hard to shoot. Or some like that was a thing in the game that was never explained.
Oh, she was given a gun. Oh, this must have been her. We'll investigate her. Oh, it's not a real gun. It's decorative.
Yeah.
Like it was decommissioned. This is a family heirloom that's been passed down. It had been decommissioned a while ago. It couldn't fire anything.
There were no bullets in there.
Yeah. And explicitly mentioned that the puff of smoke that we saw was actually powder. She was powdering her face, which is why her hands were up to her face.
She needed to adjust her makeup after she almost just had this row-in with the servant about being fake.
Exactly.
It's oh no.
but in fact, the puff of powder was the signal to fire. He's in position. Yeah. She was the lookout. She was in on it.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That's kind of fun. It's incidental. It doesn't need to be a big thing. But...
Yeah, but very much like it's probably also very much like fake Lavinia. Like, why the fuck was I given gun like 5 minutes ago? Help! Yeah. I guess Lieutenant Harrington is still there because Lavinia does need to get married to, you know, be put in the will because Victorian property ownership
Yeah.
or whatever.
But we also need the person who can, you know, absolutely attest to her innocence.
Exactly. It's like she could have never done that. I couldn't take my eyes off of her.
You brutish police officers for ever suggesting that this beautiful young woman could. I will be her knight in shining armor and defend her. Oh, Lieutenant Harrington, thank you for coming to my aid. Her miraculous love blossoms. It's very theatrical, right? This is the story they wrote. It's the story they wrote.
It's very like, falling in love with, you know, first sight and such, like, okay, sure, that might as well happen. I think there could be maybe a clue early on, because I like the idea that there's still something funky with the guest list, other than, you know, Dr. Sauce Hands.
What's funky about the guest list is it's covered in sauce.
It's covered in sauce.
Oh no, words are obscured. We have a puzzle.
Maybe the fact that Lieutenant Harrington wasn't on there.
Yeah, like
or
wasn't originally
like
on there.
that.
Like his name is written slightly strangely because it actually was added later.
Mm-hmm. Like something he maybe also like Wyatt was on the guest list but he didn't arrive, but Harrington arrived with his invite or something like that. And then wrote in his name.
Yeah. That could be fun.
In the guest list, like, afterwards, so it's in a different handwriting.
We're not keeping the clown puzzle in, no.
But what about the magic square or whatever you called it?
Not not the magic square. You can do, okay, if you want to do a magic square puzzle, here's how you do it. Firstly, you tell the player what a magic square is. Right?
Yeah.
The fact that I knew was a wonderful coincidence, but it shouldn't be relied on. And the second thing you can do is you could very easily do like, you know, you have a 5x5 one, not a 10x10, and you're missing like 3 numbers or something in such a way that, like, you know, missing that number, and I'm missing that number. So every row and column that these are in and diagonal has 2 of them, so you have to use that information to be like, okay, well, I'm missing this much from this row, I'm missing this much from this column, I'm missing this much from this diagonal. I actually have to work out what 3 numbers, or what arrangement of the 3 numbers I'm given, because we're not expecting people to do algebra here. What arrangement of these 3 numbers would work. In theory, you could brute force it if you want. That's the weakness of this puzzle, but it's also maths, so who cares? Like, let people brute force maths.
for these puzzles, it's good if it's being able to be brute forced, because then people don't have to do maths if they don't know what's going on.
exactly. I mean, if you want to make it slightly more awkward to brute force, but still possible, just have a couple of tiles that aren't relevant, right?
Yeah.
It's not, you could still brute force it if you really wanted to and you hate maths, but it does give you an incentive to actually solve it. Or at least put one of them in, try it out, see if any of the others work in the rest of the slots. You can trial and error it like that. You don't have to do the algebra, but then it actually becomes a puzzle.
Yeah.
So that's, it's still not a good puzzle, but it is a puzzle.
Can't have it. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe the lawyer forged some stuff, like forged the invite. Well, if he forged the invite, why would he need to use words? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm overcomplicating things.
I think it's more just like Wyatt gave up his invite so Lieutenant Harrington could be there so he could miraculously fall in love with Lavinia.
Yeah.
And then it was like, fuck, there's a guest list.
Yeah.
And then you also have like a sample of Lieutenant Harrington's handwriting for future reference.
Yeah.
To use somewhere else in the story, maybe, or not. Who knows? But like, you have it.
I mean, what you could have. How are we gonna get Collins's? Oh, he could still send the threats to Grimble, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
we
could
can
be like old threats or something before he
Yeah.
thought up of this entire like.
Yeah. He tried the straightforward one of threatening and blackmail and stuff, and his Grimble's like, I don't care. No one's gonna believe you. Screw you.
Yeah. Like Grimble is like, I don't care. Your uncle doesn't care.
Yeah.
More importantly, so
You can't blackmail
what can
me.
you do?
You can't blackmail me when the authority you're blackmailing me to doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, basically. So you also have a good reason to have some of Wyatt's handwriting for future reference.
Yeah.
Because I did like the comparing handwriting things. I think the game could have implemented it way better.
Oh yeah.
Especially by actually using the same fucking font for certain ones. But that aside, like it is like a very like puzzling together, like the shoe sizes and like the handwriting and such detective work.
Yeah, the actual detective work. Okay, so story so far, bang. Dr. Saucehands, touchy.
So confused, so panicked.
Lavinia is implicated. There was a gun. Oh, it's a decommissioned gun. It's just a red herring. Lieutenant Harrington comes in like, how dare you? This beautiful woman did absolutely nothing. I am a witness. And the love story begins. In random investigation, we learn bits and bobs about the house. No one went this way, so on and so forth. What happens between then and a servant being found dead? There's budding romance, of course.
Yeah, of course there's budding romance.
We learn... Do we learn of any embezzlement yet? Do we learn...
Well,
no, because we're assuming it was Dr. Mr. Lawyer. because of the automaton.
Yeah.
Why would we think... Okay, here's a question. Why would we think the lawyer wanted to kill him?
I think because the matter of the will is brought up. Like,
Right.
either, like, Sherlock notices the will is forged, or there's something weird about it, or something like that.
Okay.
And, like, the only one with access to the will is Bromsby himself, and Dr. Mr. Lawyer, who just he happened to speak with, like, a day before the murder happened. Because that's when Lavinia arrived in town, or something. Like, something that could obviously be conceived as shady. Like, something that Lestrade can look at and go walk into his little hamster wheel about.
I mean, presumably the lawyer did tamper with the will because he's in cahoots with the fake Lavinia. So that presumably did happen. Presumably also, like, the reason he got on board would be like, well, if I'm going to tamper this, obviously I'm going to get something out of it, so I'm going to get a partial share of this in the will. So he makes it so that it's more about him as well, and that's what leads them onto it, because it's like, why would Bromsby suddenly be giving all these shares to the lawyer?
Yeah, it's like, that feels weird. Like, yes, of course he'd suddenly adjust his will to go to the daughter that, just returned, but why is the lawyer suddenly getting involved?
Yeah, that seems shady. And while we're contemplating this, a servant is found dead.
Yeah.
And the servant was having arguments with Lavinia, maybe... Oh, and that's... so we're upstairs with the will... we're upstairs at the mansion, or the manor, whatever it is. We discover the will. It's weird, it's been tampered with, as the lawyer been doing something dodgy. Screams, servant was found dead, was murdered in the night earlier, and has only just been found. We learn about the argument, so on and so forth. We talk about, where she was at the night of the murder. Oh, she was near the suit of armor. Let's examine that suit of armor. It's an automaton. It was the lawyer. We have evidence.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, well, the argument with Lavinia must not have been that important. It was just about some earrings.
Yeah, we've got a good distraction from the fact that that's actually important. And then we go to find Dr. Mr. Lawyer, and he's dead. Act 2. Boom.
Yeah.
Covered in potatoes.
Covered in potatoes. I legitimately did not see that man the first time. When we got into that cellar, it was just like, oh, potato.
that scene was directed by the same art director as Dark Souls 3, which is why everything was grey and brown. What if we dressed this...
I can't help that the guy had fucking potato-colored shoes and, like, trousers. The exact same shade.
There's something about... I'm a big fan of the sentence, I can't help the fact that the guy had potato-colored shoes. Specifics of that sentence. Some sentences just... they make me smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Mr. Lawyer found that. I think that's when we, like, start figuring out more about, like, the embezzling stuff.
Yeah.
And then we go,
Yeah, and now it all starts to focus on Grimble, and
Yeah, focus on Grimble. Lestrade starts, going after Grimble while we go after his private office. Something. At the... I don't even remember what kind of thing it was. Where Mr. Plot Convenience.
Oh, yeah.
Know about the fucking theater there.
The theater. Do we need that theater? I mean...
I don't think we need that theater.
I think maybe it's a good, like, if you want to get into if you want more motivation for the actors to kill this guy, he bought their theater and, like, just for the land and shut it down.
I also think that it's just general, like, could be used as general thematic foreshadowing that there is, like, theater and actors involved.
Yeah.
That you, like, need to think in that direction. So, yeah, it can be very much like, this asshole, you know? Just, you bought a theater and left it and then just fucking shut it down.
It might not even have been their theater, but it's like, this is what this guy does to the arts. Like, he doesn't deserve to live. Like, something like that. It's just a little bit.
He shut it down. He left us without, like, a theater to perform at, and then just, you know, we became a traveling theater group.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel it's... I feel like the theater could, like, serve as a very good representation of what Bromsby, like, does, of just, you know... Oh, it serves its function until it doesn't, and then he just neglects it. And just, like... It's not even, like, you know, torn down or anything. He didn't even demolish it.
Yeah.
Like...
Sounds like the plot of a Muppets movie.
Like, very much the, like... You know, he doesn't really finish what he starts. He doesn't really make amends or anything. Like, maybe if it, like, had been demolished and turned into something actually useful, they would have felt better about it. But now it's just empty.
Also,
still don't know why Grimble's office is there, but you know.
Gotta head out. Have a good one, sir. Thanks for joining and helping invent Dr. Saucehounds. Can't remember whose idea that was originally, but I'm associating it with you, maybe because your name's Orange.
Dr. Saucehounds got his hands all over Sawyer.
Oh no! So send it to your name? No! I really need to get around to making more crispy facts for the opening of the stream, and Dr. Saucehands is gonna be in there.
Oh yeah. And we have Dr. Saucehands and Dr. Yogurt.
Yeah! Bitter rivals.
Bitter rivals. Dr. Saucehands and Dr. Yogurt cannot be put in the same room.
We have that on the guest list explicitly written, do not seat these together.
That's why the table was such a weird shape. Gotta put them all around the room.
Just to make sure they couldn't see each other.
It also conveniently blocked this door.
Yeah, I was like, well, we're making the most of that, sure. I personally invited Dr. Yogurt to make this happen, so that they would change the tables.
Yeah. Glad we don't have a mysterious Frenchman, and instead we have Dr. Saucehands.
We got Dr. Sauce Hands. We've got Dr. Sauce Hands, who is pretending to be Lavinia, and Lupin is pretending to be Dr. Sauce Hands, and then we have Flambeau, who is pretending to be Dr. Jurgen.
It's all coming together.
How many more master criminals can we crowbar into this? Just pretending to be weird fictional doctors. I don't know. What's the name of the guy from the original Mission Impossible? They used to have masks and stuff. Oh, Mayhem! Yes, Mayhem is playing Dr. Anchovy. Who... wasn't really doing much, just sort of slapping people with fish on the way in. But she was that.
Bromsby knows so many doctors.
Also, did that ever come back? Like, that was one of the first things we learned about Bromsby, was he invited all his old army chums and also just young women. And it's like...
Yeah, no,
and you're still going to try and
just want to be an asshole.
you're still going to try and like ingratiate us to this character at the end because he donated to an orphanage once. Like,
yeah, he donated to an orphanage once with embezzled money.
It wasn't even him who did it. It was Grimble.
It wasn't even really him because Grimble started it. He just kind of took the credit for it.
So,
and let it continue.
If anyone finds out, I'll take credit for it. Good, carry
on. No, he was just an asshole, and I think, like, as you get through this game, like, I think it would be fun for, like, our version of the game to, like, start out with more of, like, maybe Watson, actually, considering, like, Watson's time in the military or whatnot. It's like, oh, I've heard of this guy, whatever, and it's like, you know, trying to, you know, like, say good things about him.
Oh, yeah, he's heard only
good things. And then you discover just how fucking bad he is throughout the entire story.
You could legitimately make a thing of not an enemy in the world. Like, it starts off like that. Incredibly highly thought of in the military, is very, you know, great contacts. Yeah. Not a word heard against him. No idea who could possibly have killed him. And then just, like, every time we discover yet another person who could have killed him, Sherlock's like, not an enemy in the world, Watson. Oh,
yeah,
Holmes.
very much that.
Stop bringing that up.
Exactly.
Then you could have, like, playful character banter between your main characters.
Yeah, and not just Watson being very judgmental towards women.
Yeah. I love that that's a recurring character trait. This happens in multiple games. I don't know what the next one I have is in the series, but I have all of them apart from the one you can't get anymore. So we will be playing the rest, but we will see this evolution.
We need to figure out this one.
First, we need to figure out this one. We're close. Also, one thing I meant to bring up, you were talking about, like, you know, Bromsby's sort of buying and neglect of the theatre being a thematic thing, relating to the characters and the actors and stuff like that. I forgot to bring up at the time, but I did want to say, "Ooh, get you thinking about symbolism." Here's me trying to get facts straight, and you're actually, you know, being an author, thinking about thematic stuff. Wow. Can you write a mystery story?
Thank you.
I want to read it.
I don't know. I'll fucking try.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can't do it without these things.
Okay, what I'll do, I'll write a really crap mystery, and I'll give it to you, and you can take all the components and make it good.
Okay. Deal.
That
You
is
just
how.
need to give me enough to work with, and then I'll turn it into something that might actually be good.
This is how we co-write. I write something and then she makes it good by replacing everything. It's the mystery of Theseus. She replaces all the component parts. Well, maybe I'll write something eventually, Kieran. Maybe. Want to read all the things? Yeah. I mean, Cheap has more experience with that because Cheap has, fanfic writing experience. I haven't actually written anything for years. Decades.
Oh, it's been a hot minute since I've actually legit wrote something as well.
Yeah.
I cannot speak at least, but
I did find actually my old website with my short stories on them.
Hell yeah.
I used to write short stories. They weren't great. When was the last one? Let me have a look. September 2014 was the last time I wrote a short story. So quite a while ago.
I actually want to write something this year, so
Ooh.
Just need to figure out what. Anyway, what happens next?
We're writing this. Okay, so Act 2, the lawyer's dead. We're like, okay, it wasn't just a simple case of this guy wanted to screw over the will and kill the guy and get money. Clearly something else is going on. We find evidence of embezzlement. Grimble's now a suspect. Suspect number one. Lestrade goes after him. We go off to his thing where we find the rundown theatre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm presuming we don't find Wyatt immediately.
I don't think so, no. I think it's a case of, we go to the theatre, and then we come back to the theatre, and then Wyatt's dead.
Yeah. We can find, at that point we can find the threats that Wyatt sent to Grimble.
Yeah. It is very, now we find out about Wyatt and that he's, the nephew of Bromsby, and it's well, where was he? Maybe we even learned that, an invitation to Wyatt was sent out for the thing.
Yeah.
For, the initial party.
Yeah.
But he didn't show up, because, the Harrington needed the invite. Okay, mysterious guy who knew about the embezzlement that threatened this guy. Where is he?
Yeah, where is he? Okay, what do we need to introduce at this point? Keep looking at Dr. Soursands. Because we need to bridge up to finding his body, and thus, or finding a body, and then discovering, going to the Abbey, finding some notes matching handwriting with the threats, and going, oh, that was Wyatt, he was killed there. But that also might implicate Grimble more, and because the body was dumped there, which they probably did deliberately. That was probably why they dumped the body there, was to be like, we want this guy to go down for it, so we might as well dump this guy's body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. There needs to be something that happens then.
Yeah.
But
okay, we'll skip over. We'll come back to it. Leave a gap. General rule of writing for me is always write down the things you know first, and then it's much easier to fill in the gaps later. So yeah, find body. at theatre, old theatre. I don't need to specify old theatre because why do we need the new theatre?
There's no need for new theatre.
Yeah,
New
okay.
theatre is basically useless.
Find body at theatre.
That's a moot location. It doesn't need to happen anymore.
Find bottle, go to Abbey. Oh, research bottle. Research. Go to Abbey. Find notes. Wyatt's handwriting.
Yeah.
It was Wyatt's body all along. Okay, so Wyatt has also been killed. Why was he killed? All he did, he tried to, he tried to blackmail Grimble, but and Lestrade's like, well, that's clearly evidence that Grimble is the murderer because he was killing people who were blackmailing him. And Sherlock's like, Grimble knew this blackmail would be unsuccessful. Why would he need to murder this man?
Yeah.
So that's another reason Sherlock can be sort of one step ahead of Lestrade. Sorry, Lestrade.
Yeah. Because, like, as far as Sherlock is concerned, Wyatt already did this and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I think something needs to maybe happen with Lieutenant Harrington in between. I don't know what, but it's like,
Yeah.
because it's very much like Lavinia is like forgotten by the plots, like like she wasn't the suspect or something, but like we still have the case of like, Lieutenant Harrington was, added to the guest list later, and we've learned about this mysterious invite and such and such. It's like,
Yeah, maybe that's when we start learning about that. We get to see the guest list and be like, why is Harrington's name added later? And he's like, oh, I can explain that. That's fine, but it doesn't quite match up. And he says, look, I did have my invitation. It's just they forgot to put me on the guest list for some reason. And Holmes looks at the invitation and is like, something's off about that.
Yeah, just tracing like Wyatt's steps, which leads us back to, the mansion and being like, oh, let's see the guest list, such and such.
Oh yeah, because we learn of Wyatt because of all the embezzlement, blackmail and stuff. We learn that he was sent an invite, but he didn't show up. So Holmes was like, was he on the guest list then? And then we checked the guest list, and that's where we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, Lieutenant Harrington, it's added later, or like as the last one in a different handwriting.
Yeah.
Weird. Just to put some suspicion on Lieutenant Harrington as a character.
Yeah.
Other than, red hair, Dr. Sawsands connection. But then why did we go back to the theater, I guess is the thing.
Yeah, why did we go back to the theater? Well, we learned...
Could be... Oh, what if there's an old picture of the theater troupe at the theater?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And, well, would that be worthwhile? If we could find a picture of the theatre troupe at the theatre, and Lavinia was known to have been friends with the actress because there were photographs of the two of them together. Or maybe not a photograph of the two of them together, because then we'll see that they look identical. But there's a photograph of the actress signed, and she looks different because she's wearing a costume for a different production. But
yeah, she looks different, and you think, oh, that must be like a character model issue.
Yeah.
They could only model one female character in this game. God, it's like, no, it's plot relevant.
Finding. Find evidence. Lavinia. New acting troupe. From theatre. Precisely how? I don't know. Was she learning about all of the businesses that her father screwed over and was trying to make amends, or was she familiar with them when, she was younger and when the business was going well, and as soon as it started going downhill, then it got neglected?
Could be like a fun
She's
thing.
got red hair.
Could be like actual character building moment that like Lavinia as a sweet child used to like sneak out with her cousin and go look at the theater, and look, there's someone who looks like her. How exciting isn't that, Wyatt? Something like
that's
that.
kind of sweet, yeah.
Freaking
she's like, she was inspired. Maybe she could be
pauper thing.
Yeah, maybe she could be an actor one day.
Just connect like all three of them together as like Lavinia knew the theatre troupe, but also Wyatt knew about the theatre troupe.
Yeah, find evidence Lavinia knew the acting troupe from theatre from childhood with Wyatt. And thus we have the connection of, Wyatt was involved with the theatre troupe and Lavinia. Maybe we should investigate that theatre they said was locked up and abandoned and nothing was interesting in there. So they go back, they find the body, they're like, who the hell's this? Find the bottle, do research. Find the bottle, do the research, go to the Abbey, find notes. It's Wyatt's handwriting. Wyatt's dead. Lestrade's like, Grimble killed him. And Sherlock's like, why? I guess we're not really that far off from the end of the game. There was, at this point in the actual game, it was like, a bunch more stuff to do, including going back to the mansion twice and going to the extra theatre again, but I think we're probably just in the race for the reveal now. As Lestrade's going after Grimble, and I mean Sherlock knows that he's been embezzling, so he doesn't really care. Like we're not.
I think like Sherlock is more so leading up to like the what was the deal with the earrings reveal. Than, like probably still like bring up the earring. Like no, that. Well, Watson is like, no, we did that already. It's like, no.
No.
But why?
Why? Yeah, and like he's probably thinking about that because he found.
And then he learns in a letter from Mycroft that like Lavinia is out and abroad in India, just living her life.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. The thing that triggers the ending is that Holmes receives a letter from Mycroft and he's like, brilliant. Gather everyone together. I've got this. It's the last piece. What was the deal with the earring? It was a lock for a box that didn't have anything important in it.
Yeah.
There was a letter. I can't remember what the letter said. I don't think it was. It wasn't relevant in the final quiz. I remember that.
No, it wasn't relevant in the final quiz. And then there was the picture with the guy with the hand in front of his face.
Oh yeah, there was what could have been a reveal that three people all knew each other together, but actually wasn't because he had a hand in front of his face in the photograph, which is how photographs are staged.
Mm-hmm.
They named an entire game and book, I think. Well, what was the book called?
I hope that in the book it has more to do with that. Also, 3 earrings? Sorry, I'm just...
Yeah, there were 3 for some reason, which...
I'm now thinking about that, like, why were there 3? Like, even if it's a case of, like, oh, they were turned into earrings afterwards, like, why 3? Even if they were a key first and earrings after, why were there 3 made of them?
Well, okay, so
that makes no sense.
From game developer head, you want there to be a puzzle where you have to get all the things together to be able to unlock the thing, right? That in my head, that makes sense as a thing you would set up. The problem is, the puzzle was ask people to give them to you. And then go and unlock the box. It wasn't a puzzle.
It wasn't a puzzle.
Also, apparently it says on the Wikipedia page that it was used as an original plot line, so maybe the story was just written by someone in-house and they called it a book. Also, I can't remember exactly what it said, but...
Yeah. Anyway, not relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Because our earrings don't lead to a mysterious lockbox in a random theater that's somehow related to the case, I guess.
Yeah, so we don't... the earrings now are just like...
The earrings are mostly the plot for why something is off with Lavinia. Why Sherlock knows something is off with Lavinia. And he keeps coming back to it, but nobody else knows why he keeps coming back to it, because, like, it's just a random argument about earrings. Yeah, it's very much like, oh, Wyatt's dead, Lestrande's gone, clearly it's Quimble, we have all the, like, the embezzling, we have all the motivation we need. And Sherlock is just like, nope.
Nope.
Because...
Earrings.
Because she was wearing the wrong earrings, and it's like, what? What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, I just found out there were Sherlock Holmes games for MS-DOS. Released in 1992, the same year as Alone in the Dark, so it must be good. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Oh, you gotta go! Have a good Kiro! Enjoy babysittings.
Should the earrings get brought back up again sooner, or is it that just revealed for the end that just Sherlock's fixated on?
I'm wondering if the earring... I'm wondering if something about the photo of the actress.
Yeah.
Would there be an earring in that? Would they have... why would... I mean, would... No, that would have come later. That wouldn't work with the timeline. I was going to say maybe Lavinia would give the earring to the troupe because they're sort of like financially hard up, and it was like, well, I got this from my parents and I don't care, so here you are. But then they would have the right earring, which would not work. So
yeah.
Well, they could have pawned it, I suppose. But then why would you wear it in the photo? That's too convoluted, so that's not important.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have here, find evidence Lavinia knew acting troupe from theatre from childhood with Wyatt, so there might be a photograph when they were younger. Why would she wear an earring when she's that young?
I mean, if it's like, an heirloom or something.
Yeah.
Like, also because, like, earrings at that point were mostly, like, clip-ons. Anyway.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Because, piercing your ears is barbaric for the fucking poor folk and the, well, not even the poor folk would do that, the fucking, slaves and such.
Yeah. And, of course, the effeminate actors at the theatre.
And, of course, the actors.
Did happen to notice he had a piercing, but... Yes, piercing your skin is barbaric. Instead, what you should have is a clamp constantly pressing into your skin all day.
Yeah.
I am civilized.
Accused the Victorians of being smart about things,
That's fair. That's fair.
Um.
But yeah, so since seeing the thing, since seeing the photo of the earring prior to finding the body at the theatre, Sherlock knows something's up with the earring, that the one she was wearing was a fake. He doesn't know why yet.
Maybe it's not even a picture of Lavinia wearing the earring, but just a picture of the earring of like, hey, look what I got from like my mum or something like that.
Oh yeah, that could also be in there as well. We could find a bunch of different, like, we could find a diary, a childhood diary or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And they could be in there at the same time.
Mm-hmm. A little picture of going to the theatre with Wyatt, and picture of the earrings I got from my mum, and such and such.
It was an evening out.
And here's me and my dad, and the massive wall we built between us, because I didn't want to shout at his slave.
Yeah, the cocaine takes the edge off. It's all good. Okay, so how do we get from that point to the final? What's the thing? Well, we had this idea that Mycroft tells him that Lavinia is still alive.
Yeah, that's more just confirmation for Sherlock that he's right.
Yeah.
That might even come in during the summing up, you know? It's like...
Yeah, this is my evidence. I reckoned it at
you
first.
don't have evidence. Why would you even accuse us of being someone different? Well, after... Oh, a random postman walks in.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Excuse me, Mr. Holmes?
One of the fucking horrifying orphans.
No, we're not bringing them back. We're not bringing Wide Shoulder McGee, the tiny child, with the head and shoulders of an adult.
In that case, just a random postman will do, which is like, oh, I have a letter from your brother, something, something, and then like, haha, I'm right.
Oh yeah, the arsenic wallpaper, yeah. It's White Shoulder McGee, the son of Saucehands McGee.
No.
No, we're not making this a cinematic universe.
So yeah, that's more proof that Sherlock's right rather than like, you know, Mycroft solving the mystery for Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock explicitly prompts it. He says to Mycroft, find this person, sends off a letter. And then during the summing up, the response comes back.
Yeah. Probably had like a dramatic moment of like, but then what was the, like during the summing up of like, but then the question remains, what was with the earrings? And then like the postman comes in or something like that.
Yeah. No, White Shoulders McGee is not Lavinia in disguise. What, the orphan comes in with a letter. Got a letter for you, Mr. Holmes. Pulls off mask. It is I, Lavinia. I'm alive.
It's also Lupin.
It's also...
Everyone is Lupin.
Oh, so you thought.
So you
'Tis
thought.
I, Lupin.
I am here to steal the inheritance.
Slides away on a piano.
Yeah, I guess what is the thing that prompts Sherlock into action, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it is like, oh, Lavinia's gonna announce her engagement with her savior or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the, like... I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a final thing that, like, puts it all into place for Sherlock.
What? Okay. Character thing. What if you know, while they've announced their engagement and lots of people around, and Lieutenant Harrington is talking with the bigwigs in the military and talking about his exploits, and Lavinia's are laughing at his shoulder about the things that he says, but he says something offhand about, like, you know, that is like about cruelty to the native people in India or whatever. He did something that's sort of cruel, and she laughs along. Oh, that's very funny. And Holmes is like, "Yeah, you're not Lavinia."
Oh yeah, that could very much be it. Lavinia would never.
Yeah.
Like, based on everything we've learned about this girl, she'd never.
Yeah, or maybe it's not even like we see that scene. It's like we see the scene of him bragging to people and Lavinia's hearing it and whatever. Or like we see the scene of him talking about these things, and then later Lavinia says to Sherlock, "Oh yes, I had a wonderful evening listening to all the stories of his time in India and stuff like that." And Holmes is like, you know, maybe does a little probing question of like, "Did you like all those stories?" So we don't necessarily see the scene, but we have seen the information and the fact that she knows the information, and then we can put two and two together.
Yeah, very much like, because Harrington would probably also like try to, as further like character motivation, try to like fit in with these military types that like Bromsby was hanging out with, you know, the India guy.
Yeah,
who
exactly.
Committed genocide. It's like, haha, look, I'm one of you guys. I definitely served in the military. I know all about it. I also committed atrocities. And Lavinia just kind of casually comments on it later of like, well, you're such a brave man, whatever, and doesn't say anything about like the atrocities he supposedly committed. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that admission Sherlock just takes as an admission of guilt and is like, let's all get together. Lestrade, gather everyone, I will reveal the mystery, such and such.
Yeah.
Stuff, talking, lots of talking. Sherlock explaining the mystery. Earrings, and then Postman comes in, Mycroft sharing that Lavinia is living happily in India. Such and such. Whatever. Epilogue. The entire fortune goes to real Lavinia living in India, who actually uses it for good.
Yeah, actually uses it to help, you know, rebuild the town that was destroyed and.
Yeah. Because she could take the inheritance because she was already married to an Indian man, or something like that.
Yeah. And London's economy was not destroyed. Or maybe it was, just for fun.
The economy was not destroyed, but also maybe it was. Who knows? Who really cares? Yeah, we do still end on the Sherlock jump scare and then the game crashes. That does happen, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I think we put together a fairly competent mystery. That's an excellent Sherlock face.
It's not as good as yours, but
He just has that look of someone who is not quite there. Some of it you can blame on the character modeling, and others are just decisions they made.
yeah, as we can say, they did get better. Also, I did look it up. Apparently, the one before this was Sherlock Holmes: The Mystery of the Mummy.
Oh God!
It is apparently first person, and there was a Wii version planned, but it did not get released.
I'm not sure I want to know the atrocities they committed in that one. Just based on the fact that it has to do with mummies and Egypt, probably.
Yeah.
In Victorian London.
It got a solid 50 to 60% on all reviews, so... Also on the Wikipedia page, it's under See Also, is The Mystery of the Druids. And if it's in that kind of company, I'm not holding out hope. If anyone knows The Mystery of the Druids, that's the time. Maybe I'll play it on stream one day. If I really want to punish you all. But yeah. This was fun. I really like this. I like writing mysteries with friends. It's a good time.
We
Particularly
should put together more mysteries. This is fun.
Today we learned Cheeb very smart with mysteries writing. Very
I feel like
clever.
we build off each other well when it comes to mysteries.
Yeah. Requests to co-write mysteries will be appearing in your inbox shortly.
I'll be looking forward to it.
But yeah, I hope people enjoyed Kerswoosh. I have Kerswooshed. Yeah. Tomorrow, colds notwithstanding, Jeep Times. Jeep will also be doing canvas storytelling. In the form of
Uncharted.
Uncharted, that's the word. It's not. Outlast was the name in my head. It's definitely not that. Go team! Oh yeah, Plams did a good job with those source hands. True, yes. So this was a good group effort.
Yeah. We all needed a bit of sauce hands in our life.
Add quote. But yeah, I hope you I've broken my my year-long can't make OCs rule with my new OC, Dr. Sourcehounds, who will be appearing in all of my comics henceforth.
And it's definitely not Lupin, is the thing.
But yeah, so yeah, cheap times tomorrow. Good Chippy Nether's Day. Uncharted or Uncharted Explanations. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, I think you said.
Yeah. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. The continued adventures of Nathan Drake having commitment issues.
Oh, well, that bodes well. And then on Saturday, more seamless, literally seamless co-op for Elden Ring. Wherein we will
seamless.
Yeah, where we will be going through some castles. Probably that's my intention. We have some castles to explore, so we won't be running around a massive map. We actually do something specific. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for being, and while you're being, thanks for being here. I hope you all have a lovely week ahead of you, And yeah, if anyone wants to do more of this sort of rewriting stuff, let me know, because it was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
It was great fun. Friends are fun. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good everyone. Goodbye. Bye.
Have a good bye.